A few years ago, my then 3-year-old was struggling with a bad dream. I went to her to stroke her head and calm her down, and she was half awake already, and she whispered, "Daddy, when the night babies come, I take the hearts from inside their bones so they can't bite anymore." Girl, you can't just go to sleep right after saying something like that. What the heck? Your child a demon, just eating hearts and souls every night like a creep. Girl, you say something like that, I'm dropping you off at a fire station. I don't play this game. You're not gonna kill me. I don't care if you came out of me. We not doing this. See, this is proof that kids are scary sometimes. When mine was that age, I was sitting next to him listening to him singing a creepy chant with no words. A chant. Girl, no. He told me he was singing to the darkest drift, a sentient, invisible stream that runs through time and space, that creates stars and planets and that only kids can see. What in the interstellar are you talking about, child? That sounds cool, but are you gonna throw me into the darkest stream? Whatever it's called. Sounds kind of cool, to be honest. When my son was little, he never liked his toenails being trimmed. Ew, I wouldn't like that either. Used to go gray and physically shake. Proper panic attack. He said it's because when he was a soldier, he had his toenails pulled off. Ew. A little TMI, Timmy. What kind of soldier were you? You were a spy. He got captured. He wouldn't spill the tea, so toenails gone. Good for you, I guess. When my son was 4, he told me one night while driving home that when we die, our glow insides, a soul maybe, go up to the stars and wait until the right time, then they come back to learn lessons with different people. He said he picked me to be his mom. Well, why'd you pick me? I didn't want you. I'm kidding. Kinda. Like, why couldn't you pick someone else? Pick a celebrity. They got lessons to learn too. My eldest remembered being born for a while. Who the heck remembers being born? I wouldn't want to remember that. That's disgusting. About 3 years old, he talked about when I was stuck in the dark place and couldn't breathe, then the big man made a new door. I had an emergency C-sec. Try saying that 3 times fast. Under general anesthetic. The cord was around his neck so he couldn't breathe. Surgeon was a very tall man, and he made a new door with my legs. My 3-year-old used to describe how when I was big, the machine, it cut off my head. What machine? Girl, tell me so I don't do the same thing. He'd use the trash can lid to demonstrate on his baby doll. That's what a serial killer does as a kid. You might want to keep an eye on that. One day, after weeks of this, I asked him to draw the machine. I kid you not, he drew a guillotine. He even knew how the mechanism worked. Was he Queen Elizabeth? Or whichever one of the kings or queens got their head cut off. I think there were a few. They were really into, you know, head chopping back in the day. I think there's still like one state that legally allows a guillotine. They probably don't do it, but it's not against the rules there. Honestly, if I had to be killed, that would be the way I would want to go. Guillotine. I had a grandfather called James who died before I was born. When I was 3, we were looking through some photo albums and I said to my mom, "That's Granddad Jim. He reads me stories at night." "What now?" And pointed to James. Mom was hysterical for a few days. "Are you sure it's Granddad Jim and not just a creeper, homeless man who likes to hang out with children at the park and gives out free candy?" I want to meet Granddad Jim, son. One time when my son was about 3, we were dancing with his feet on my feet and he said, "Mommy, I remember when I was big and you were little and we used to dance like this." Huh? The only person I can remember dancing like that with is my grandfather. Why would your granddad want to come back as your son? That's weird. That's the weirdest thing of this story. Like, you got some explaining to do, Granddad. You into some weird stuff. Apparently when my brother was 2 or 3, he told my mom that he used to have another family until men with dogs came to our village and made us get on trains, and it was so hot that I fell asleep and now you're my mommy. So that was spooky, a little creepy, and then we had lunch. We went to McDonald's. That is disturbing. I'm sorry. Creepiest thing my son ever said was when we were driving and he went, "Oh, look at all the people." And there were no people. Might be schizophrenic, but we just happened to be driving past a local cemetery. He might have been messing with you, honestly. Kids have a crazy imagination. I think I did that to my friends once, or they even did it to me. They were like, "Look at all these people, I could see spirits." But I'm pretty sure she was just a pick-me girl and she wanted us to think she was cool and she could see the dead. I'm pretty sure she was a pathological liar. When she was about 3, my daughter found 2 friends in a shed in a garden center, Johnny and Alice. Were they alive? Specify, please. They had no parents, so we had to bring them home. I spent a week belting 2 invisible children into the back of my car. Why? Apparently, I told my mom that I used to eat sandwiches with the funny old man at the bottom of the garden while at nursery. Call the cops. She asked the nursery about it, and they said I sat and ate my sandwiches next to the same grave every day, chatting away. My nursery is an old church. I used to go to a daycare at a church too, but I don't think they had a cemetery nearby, that one. It was a little down the road. That is kind of creepy that you have kids next to a bunch of dead bodies, just saying. I mean, I would totally pull pranks on some nuns. Like if I was at a daycare or at a Catholic church or something, I'd be like, Sister Alice, I saw this old man and I ate sandwiches with him. You might want to call the cops, or he might be a demon. I don't even know. Tell the priest. My boy told me at roughly 3 years old about being taken to the room where you choose your parents. He said there were loads of photos of people and he chose me for my smile. Aww, thanks a lot, kid. Thought it was totally normal for folks to remember it. Described all the faces of the other parents. Dude, if I could remember that and I passed up like Rihanna or Beyonce as my mama, I would hate myself. Because I'm sure if you're in that room choosing your parents, you don't know they're famous. My mom and sister were in a taxi with my nephew when he was about 3. He pointed at a branch of Claire's accessories and said, "When I was a big boy and I was a fireman, I used to go in that pet shop." Elderly taxi driver almost crashed. Said it had been a pet shop when he was a kid. That's a little creepy. Pretty accurate. That there's some truth to it. Honestly, I think these kids might be telling the truth because there's so many of these stories where they remember past lives in perfect detail. Like, this can't be a coincidence anymore. Interesting bedtime chat with my 3-year-old tonight. "Daddy, I had a family a long time ago, and my mommy was called Sochi, and I was called Anki, but then I died, and now I'm with your family, and I hate you all." Anyway, if anyone needs me, I'll be cleaning up the pants I just pooped in for the rest of the night. Yo, if you ever poop your pants, it sucks. Like, if you're not young enough for it to be, like, acceptable, it's weird. You have to deal with it yourself and hope no one finds out. Not a past life, but impending end of mine. 4-year-old daughter. "Daddy, you're going to die." Me. "Yes, love, we will all one day die. Hopefully I won't die for a long time, though." Daughter. "No, Daddy. It's soon. Like tonight when you fall asleep and I put a knife in your head." Why did I say that? I don't know. But that sounds like a low-key murderer in progress. Reminds me of a story my sister told me about my niece. She was crying, Mom picked her up, and said, "It's all right, Mommy's here, Mommy and you." She stopped crying, pointed over her mom's shoulder at an empty corridor, and said, "And them." Okay, well, you can go hang out with the nice people in the corner, and I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna flex and bust out of here, girl. Nice knowing you. I'll call the cops. Hopefully you'll still be alive, but I'm not waiting around to see what happens. Peace. Deuces. We nicknamed our daughter Spooky as she talked about 2 previous lives between the ages of 3 and 5. Spooky, I love it. After we had a car accident in which no one was hurt, she remained totally calm, saying her friend had told her it would happen and that we would be fine. Sounds like your friend was telling you she was gonna try to murder us. What is her name? Where's she at? And she's under arrest. That is conspiracy to commit murder, ma'am. I don't care if you're a ghost or not, you're going to jail. Mine was restless one night, went into cuddle. She started talking in another language. Oh, heck no. Nope, not doing that Satan stuff tonight. I asked, who are you talking to? And she said, ancestors. I asked, who are you? And she said, shaman. Then did a little bit of chanting. What the heck? No chanting in my house, ma'am. No, no, no. Literally, chanting? Mm-mm. My toddler used to be woken regularly by the crying man and the angry lady. Sounds like every 40-year-old couple who's on the brink of divorce. Anyways, who didn't pay any notice to him but woke him with their fighting. On a visit to the local museum, we learned that his bedroom sat very precisely on the site of the town's old debtor's jail. Can y'all stop fighting and let me sleep? Like, that's rude. Respect the sleep. Fight somewhere else. But yes, that's it for proof that kids are scary sometimes and why you just shouldn't have them. Anyways, hope you like it. Comment below which one was your favorite. As always, please subscribe and follow me on TikTok and Instagram and turn on notifications. And I'll see you next time.